Welcome back to another episode of Penny Helpjes. We have a pretty interesting looking penny roll wrapper here. This is one I don't see too often. A lot of times the ones that are odd have the crimp circle on the back. This one also does not have that. It's overfilled. You can see the line here. And for some reason they put an extra penny or two. That's why it's not closed correctly on one side. But that usually gets taken care of, usually, when I fill the penny, because I reuse the penny wrappers, right? Oh, look at all this copper. Oh, that's a lot of copper. You see, yes, that's a copper too, right? Any more? No. There looks to be, it would not surprise me if there's about 20 coppers in here. That is a lot of copper. Or maybe 20, I mean, if there's 25, that's 50%. So that would be tremendous. That is abnormal. It's not copper. See, to me, that looked like copper on the side. That's how I get tricked. That's how I get tricked. Even from the revert. Well, I could tell from the reverse. It's zinc by the surface. By the surface. Now, the surface of pennies. I talk about this on occasion. This is another one. Here's another zinc. It looked from the edge. It looked like that. Definitely looks like copper from the edge, but it's not. Another 96. Is the other one 96 also? I don't remember. So, and I will count out how much copper we have at the end of the video. I'll try to remember that. I'm thinking it's half. I still say it's half copper. It looks very, very brown. That looks like mostly copper down there. I could be wrong. It might be 20 or 15. But it will not surprise me if it's 25. So one of the things, even people who have years of experience penny roll hunting and studying pennies, you will hear people on a regular basis. Well, you might not. You probably, most of you out there, when I make a mistake, usually people don't realize it because you don't know I'm wrong, and I have to say that's one of the, I don't want to call it a pitfall. It kind of is a pitfall. It's just one of the things that goes on within another zinc, within the, you want to call it community, within the community. And that is, people get an idea in their head because they heard it, right? From somebody, and they repeat it, and then they believe it, and then someone else hears it and they repeat it and they believe it. No white AM. And that perpetuates the myth. So this one, it looks like it has a hard strike. Look how deep how high the rim looks. Or an odd strike. Still have not found one copper penny. So maybe that 25 is a little ambitious. Another 98. No white AM. A nice white AM would have been cool. A nice $5, $10 penny would have been nice to find today. So one of the things people have kind of don't know what they're talking about is when it comes to zinc, cents, and the surface. It's just It's just one of those things. I have in the if you look in the description below, I think I have one video on how the mint makes coins, and then in the video there's a part about pennies specifically. And one of the things that they don't even show in this video is, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'll keep this to the side as a good example of the discussion today, because one of the things they don't show is how the zinc, the zinc blank, right, gets covered with copper. And as you can see, it's a very thin layer of copper over the coin. And it doesn't take much for the copper surface to be interrupted to show the zinc metal below, which very quickly begins to corrode. We still haven't found one copper penny. I don't think we're going to hit 25. So, and I've heard all kinds of crazy things. I've looked it up, but I still have never seen a video on the exact process. And I'm going to shout the guy out because he's been doing this for a very long time, and I'm not. I've made plenty of mistakes, and people point out my mistakes all the time. So don't think I'm not going to point out other people's. But the way my understanding, and I looked it up, the way the zinc blank, right? Because first of all, the coin the coin has to get punched out of sheet metal. Here's our first copper. No floating roof, right? So it gets punched out of the sheet metal, and then now you have a blank. But in this case, unlike copper, I'm assuming you have a blank zinc. It can't have the copper plating over it already, or when it got punched out, it wouldn't have it on the edge. So they go through a process called electroplating. And electroplating, if you look at like jewelry, you can find a lot of jewelry electroplating videos. They put electrodes on it, and then they add the metal to the solution. And then when they add electricity to the jewelry piece, it attracts the metal that's in the solution. That's a nice penny. But how do they do billions of pennies in a solution? You know what? I'm gonna look it up really quickly just to make. I don't really want to say something wrong. I've said it. I was been wrong in the past, and I'll show you very quickly what I find. So just to show you, if you put in what I said into YouTube, like they have a lot of things about electroplating, but nothing about the mint. And I did write the mint in the. So see, that's it. You see how they show the wire around the bolt, and then the solution will adhere to. Here it goes again. See, and then the solution, and that they are using a coin electroplating a copper penny. Now they're doing it backwards. They're putting zinc on a copper penny. That's pretty cool. Here goes one of my videos. So there's not much out there. So now let's Google it. All right, and this is where we find it. AI. The U.S. Mint uses electroplating to create the copper-plated appearance of zinc pennies. The process involves immersing the zinc core, which is to me, that I'm calling that the blank. That might not even be the blank. That might be something else. The blank might be after it's electroplated. I'm not sure which one is which. Maybe one's an unelectroplated blank and whatever. I don't know. The zinc core in a copper containing electrolyte solution and passing an electric current through it, causing. But we're talking about billions of pennies. That's the part that I get weirded out by. Like, how do they do billions of pennies in this process? The process relies on electrolysis, an anode, a cathode, copper disposition, zinc dissolving, blah blah blah. How the electroplane? How the U.S. Mint makes a penny? Decline. Electroplating. Oh, okay. This is comsol, comsol.com. So it's the same thing. It's electroplating. It's cathodes, electrodes. I just wish they had a picture of. They don't have it. So they don't have the picture of the. I want to see a picture of the animal hair of the like hundreds of thousands of pennies inside of the salute. I want to see the actual where it actually happens, and oh, that's a beautiful beautiful penny. That's a beauty, man. 64D. The D is weak. Okay, so it's electrolysis. That's the bottom line. Electrolysis, right? Did I say that right? It's electroplating. Excuse me. Electrolysis might be the whatever what happens inside of there, but it's electroplating. There's another beautiful copper penny. That's nice. So electroplating is how the copper gets adhered to the surface of the zinc blank. Okay, very good. Now we got that piece of information down. Wow, it went from no zinc at all to these beautiful copper pennies. How odd is that? So now the copper penny does not have electroplating. It's just, and I think in the video below, I think it might be the copper pennies because you can see them. It looks like a copper sheet metal, and then they punch out hundreds at a time from the sheet metal. So there's no electroplating involved. No wonder it costs so much to make a penny. It's such an involved process. So again, a lot of people don't know that I didn't know that, right? How did I think it happened? I never knew. I just listened to the BS everyone else said, and I spewed that out, and I spread misinformation accidentally from being stupid. But when I was on this forum some months back, and so they call it Clad, right? Now Clad, as I understand it, basically means non-silver, right? Non-precious metal, right? So you got the silver dollar, the silver dime, the silver nickel, then you got the Clad, right? Which means, nickels are still, even the non-silver nickels are not, they're not covered with anything. They're still but they're all nickel, right? And nickel costs, I think, like 15 cents to get made or something like that for the mint to make a nickel. Anyway, so the Clad is basically saying it's a fake coin with something over the surface, electroplate. In the pennies case, it's electroplate. I don't know how they do dimes. I don't know how they do nickels. I'm assuming it's the same procedure. I don't know, but I don't know. And they call them Clad, right? So if you go to bring your silver coins to the pawn shop, they don't want Clad, right? They'll tell you, oh, that's Clad. They don't want that. They want this. They want the silver coins. So Clad is a term that's used for, I guess you can call it fiat coins, coins that are covered to look like a different type of uh, to look like the coin that they're not. So, for example, this is a clad penny that's made to look like a copper penny, but it's not. It's fiat. It's fake. It's it's a replicate. They're trying to make it look like something like this. This is copper, and look how yellow this is. That's that's not copper looking. That's bronze looking. That's because there's too much zinc in the solution for that. It's pretty cool though. So a few months back, I said I I said, excuse me, I said Clad on a forum, and a person said that's that's molten copper over over the over the penny. Molten. They called it molten copper, which of course that's molten copper implies um, like if it was dipped or spread into a vat of liquid copper, and of course that's not the case. I just showed you about electroplating, so you got to see that. And the person has their own website and everything, and they're pretty popular and known throughout the community. And that was one of their replies to me when I said, "Oh, what do you think about the Clad on this?" And they said, "Oh, that's molten copper." And actually that person saying that, which I knew it wasn't molten copper, that was they're really misinformed, which is, so you got to think, right? Now this person again has a huge website, and they don't even know what they're talking about, right? Um, so you have to be careful, number one, with what you pay attention to out there. One of the people, I have to tell you, that has helped me a lot throughout the time that my uh, channel has been open is Eric from Kenai Collectibles. Now, he has fact checked me on numerous occasions and still does it to this day. And I have to check that. That looks like a double die. Look at the 6 and the 2. That would be awesome. Is it just there? It's not in bad condition. It's just dirty. Oh, and it has peeling on the surface. Oh, this is tremendous. And it's in nice condition. Oh, wow. Oh, and the mint mark is repunched. It has a beautiful repunch. Now, the 6, oh, that just might be peeling. But there's also extra metal coming off the 6 and in the inside of the 9. Wow, what a very interesting coin this is. That is so cool. And there looks like there might be doubling in the motto. Uh, Possibly in the Liberty. Let me look at the reverse real quick. But the extra metal on the date, the peeling, and the repunch mint mark. I don't know if you can see the repunch mint mark or not. I mean, there might be doubling on the date. I don't know, but there's definitely I think the peeling. I'm calling it peeling. I think that's what it's called. I think that's what's going on next to the 6. Is it a double die? It might be, but there's extra metal on the bottom of the 6. You can see it right there. and on the inside of the 9. Right there, you can see it. And then the mint mark's repunched. And you can see the bottom of the IN has doubling. I'm not sure if it's a double. That's a double die or not. It might be. What a nice penny we found. That might be a $10 penny. So Eric from Kenai Collectibles, he's he's the OG of the channel. And he corrects me because he has been doing this. I don't know how long. Eric, you never told me how long you've been penny roll hunting and specific. Like I mean, I did coin roll hunting when I was a kid, but I didn't learn anything really until I started to do this channel. So I'm not sure, Eric, when really you started seriously getting involved with penny errors, coin errors, and the like. I'm not sure how long ago that was. You don't seem that old to me. I don't know how old you are either. You seem like you might be in your 30s. So maybe you'll leave that comment below. So yes, there are some people that I listen to, and Eric is definitely one of them. Look, it looks rusted. Another, I don't know if that's rust or not. I mean, one size, I bet you was just laying down in something. And but it does look a little like rust, which of course copper can't rust, so that makes it look kind of interesting also. But, and Eric knows the person I'm talking about. You have to, so Clad, right? It's on the zinc scent. It's there through electroplating, and I found that kind of fascinating because I really never knew how it got there. I still don't know exactly how it gets there. I can't. I mean, it goes through a wash. There must be some huge tumbler or something like that. That's the only thing I could think of is a tumbler that's circulating these coins by the thousands. But I couldn't find the image. It's another really corroded. See, that's corrosion. That's different. It's not rust. Rust is brown. Excuse me. And so yes, there are people out there that I listen to. Eric is definitely at the top of that list and has taught me a lot. I mean, I don't even know how to. There's nothing. If it wasn't, I would be very much deprived of that knowledge if it wasn't for him on my channel. I have to state the honest truth about that. You know, I'm not a know-it-all, and um, but I do know how to do research. You know, I got my master's degree, and even though it's not in science or it is in social, it's in social work specifically. The 97, I think we look for the double ear. And but you have to do a lot of research for papers, and it's nonstop. Master's degree, even for your undergrad. Undergrad took statistics. It was psychology, so that is a science. So I did a lot of research. So that's one of the things that I am good at, and so that's been helpful. But you know, getting corrected about things that I thought I knew that I didn't is also a very important part of, and I do that in the comments to the best I can. Unfortunately, a lot of the times when I correct someone in the comments, they're putting like they're swearing up and down that they're correct, and that again, that is one of the issues. That's odd. It's cool looking. That's one of the issues that you're going to bump into is people telling you things and they're swearing that they're right. For example, the molten dipping a blank into molten metal. Where did the person get this nonsense from? As far as I can tell, that's nonsense because I can't see the connection between molten metal and electroplating. I don't see any connection there. So if somebody wants to explain that connection to me, then I'll stand corrected. Um, but um, you have to be careful with that throughout your learning process with coins in general, because people will tell you all types of cockamamie stuff. So, like I said in the comments below, I try to correct people, but sometimes people come out and they're like screaming, type screaming that they're correct, and I'm like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about, man. Stop. And sometimes they'll curse and everything like that, and I'll just block them. But it's um, when someone thinks they're right, man, they can be pretty convincing. So that's why it's important. It's important to be a subscriber of my channel and to really be a part of a group that. Oh, look at that. That's nice. You think this is copper? See, to me, this doesn't look like copper. Definitely because of I can't tell. Yeah, yeah. It's not copper. That's odd. What an odd reverse. And last but not least, this is copper, obviously. All right, and let's count it up. That was a nice penny. All right, so we have 1, 2. Let's see if I can do it right. 3, 4, 4 and 4 is 8. 8 and 4 is 12. 12 and 4, right? Because it's the same side. 12 and 4 is 16. 16 and 3 is 19. I was pretty close, man. 19. I was saying 20 to 25, so I was right there. 19 copper pennies in a penny roll in 2025 is unbelievable. That is a tremendous amount of copper. Let me know in the comments below. Hey, I went penny roll hunting yesterday. I went through 10 rolls, and my highest copper percentage was well, 19. If 19 and 19 is 38, so the percentage of copper in the roll is 38. The amount we found is 19. So let me know how many copper pennies you found in the penny roll, the most copper pennies you found in the penny roll recently or in your lifetime. Let me know in the comments below. That's cool stuff to be putting in comments. Let me know what you think about the whole electroplating, what I showed you today. All right, this is episode, I think it is, I don't know what it is, 490. No, 489. This is episode 489. I will see you in episode 490. God bless and take care.